Daily Cycles with a quick update on April the 30th. So I think I said in the weekend that I was not quite confident about my primary scenario here. But first I should mention I think I will from now on be using this orange color for my quick updates, the yellow color for the weekend videos, and when I do some educational or research videos like this weekend, it will maybe be a different color, blue or green, we'll see. But going back to the current situation, it looks like time is running out for bears regarding this primary black scenario, because we are approaching this 4-week cycle low and 2-week oscillation low. And I did suggest this weekend that we maybe should be looking for something like this red scenario. And I should also mention something like this green scenario is possible as well. That would mean that that's the kind of rally I was expecting later in the summer. But this would be going up to test the 200-day moving average, and then we should crash down to lower lows and have some kind of a panic in June. But that's for now not what I'm looking for, but it's a possibility. If we look at the hourly data for Dow Jones Industrial, I drew these black arrows was my primary scenario. And then in the weekend I said, but I think maybe we have to do something like this to make kind of a double top, because we dropped so low here, so we have no trend lines to find some bears when it breaks. So this red one is a possibility, or maybe even I suggested in the weekend maybe like this. Maybe we should call it a double top and then an ABC corrective move, and that would mean the low would be around the end of May. So I think this black one is well, I can't exclude it totally, but this would mean a low around this coming weekend, and then a top maybe around. Yeah, I just remember there's a Fed meeting on Wednesday. So, yeah, that would be the critical point. If we turn down from around the Fed meeting, then we should have this ABC corrective move. But I don't think it should break down to lower lows, but yeah, some kind of almost big double low here. And then we have the other possibility that I mentioned previously. Is this a rally? I have my normal rally scenarios here. Blue and green, they are very similar. This blue one, if it's the blue one, well then we should break out and rally tomorrow. And the green one, it looks more likely. It's suggesting some sideways consolidation into the weekend, and then we pop up and top out around the Fed decision, but then just go sideways, and then we go higher to but that I think will be the final high for this rally, and then we could turn down to some kind of panic in June. That does not quite fit with my cycle work, with the 17-week cycle and so on. But in bear markets, these cycles, in periods they will not work. That may happen. So we have to see. But I'm sticking at the moment with these two red scenarios as the primary ones. And I'm looking at historical analogs suggesting this green average that we should be topping right about now and go down to a low around mid-May. And we have some analogs here from 1998 and 2011 that are very similar, and they kind of suggest we should turn down, well, we could have just a very few days left and then maybe start to go down before the Fed meeting. We have to see. But you see, both of these are kind of crashing down around the time of next week's Fed meeting. You know, we also have these analogs from 2007 and 2022 suggesting, you know, this red one, an A, B, C. Maybe that's where we are now, A, B, C. Well, this one is the red one also suggesting a top around the Fed meeting. And then we have this green one from 2022. Well, maybe we are following this one just when we don't look at this panic here. Well, that would suggest the bigger rally up to 200-day moving average and then the panic in June. So a couple of possibilities. I don't like it when I'm not sure. I don't feel confident at the moment. I haven't showed you my wavelets for a while because at the moment the wavelet, especially this purple one, is giving me confusing signals. Sometimes, you know, also in bull markets it makes these strange, confusing shapes. And at the moment it's a bit hard to interpret this, but I think this blue one is interesting. At the moment I think the blue one is about to top, and if we go back, you see that's where we topped, about where we topped, you know, here that's about where we topped. Here we had some weakness. You know, this is suggesting here we had weakness, and here and here and yeah, just about there. Here we had some weakness, and here we still had some days with upside. So this light blue wavelet is suggesting some weakness ahead here is coming. And that, well, we also had this shorter yellow one is turning down. So we have some bearish oscillations here the next few days, and we have to see if that materializes into some real downside or more sideways consolidation. So at the moment, still a bearish cycle into the weekend, but time is running out, it looks like. You know, there's also a last possibility which I hate, and that's the inversion. Well, I would maybe say that this red one is kind of that inversion variant. So we are making kind of a topping formation at the cycle low. So that's kind of a inversion. Yeah, but I think this red one is now my primary scenario. It looks like mostly going sideways into the Fed meeting, and then we either get the corrective move down, or we have the bigger rally up to the 200-day moving average, and then the panic down. See you later in the weekend. Bye bye.